Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive. Today we're taking a look at Hong Kong,
Oh, yeah, Hong Kong.
and we've got some really fascinating sources here, all about this city where East meets West.
I've taken a look and yeah, from what I've seen, they cover a really wide range.
Yeah.
I mean, everything from, Hong Kong's distinct political system and just incredible food
Oh yeah.
to even the amazing natural landscapes that are kind of tucked away there.
Yeah, I was really surprised by how much there is to do outdoors,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't think of with all those skyscrapers.
Right.
And speaking of skyscrapers, did you know that Hong Kong has more skyscrapers than any other city in the world?
Wow. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, got to be an incredible skyline.
It is. And, I think it really kind of speaks to Hong Kong's position as this global financial center.
Right.
They operate under this unique one country, two systems framework,
Mm.
which basically allows them to keep their own capitalist economic system.
Right, separate from mainland China. And the sources actually go into that a bit, explaining how that framework, along with their strategic location
Hmm.
in Asia, has just attracted a ton of international business and investment.
Oh, yeah. It's really drawn a lot of people in.
But I'm curious, what does that actually look like in everyday life for people living there?
Well, it creates this really interesting dynamic. Imagine this city where you have global capitalism
Okay.
thriving right alongside traditional Chinese culture.
Wow.
So, you have these big multinational companies setting up shop.
Yeah.
But then just a few blocks away, you'll find centuries-old temples and, these small family-run businesses that have been there for generations.
So it's like this blend of old and new.
It really is a true blend.
And speaking of that blend, the sources also mention the impact of British colonialism on Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other layer.
Yeah.
And it's not just the architecture you see,
Right.
in places like the former Legislative Council building. For example, did you know that English is still widely spoken in Hong Kong,
Oh, that's right.
especially in business and legal settings?
Interesting.
So it's this lasting legacy from that period.
It makes you wonder how people in Hong Kong view that period today,
It's a good question.
right? Is it a positive influence, a negative one, or somewhere in between?
Yeah, it's definitely complex.
Yeah.
And the sources kind of touch on that. They're definitely mixed feelings.
Okay.
Some people see it as, a time of economic growth and stability,
Right.
while others might focus more on the, inequalities and the lack of political representation
Sure.
that existed under colonial rule.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that history is rarely black and white, especially when you're talking about a place as dynamic as Hong Kong.
For sure, and that complexity is also reflected in Hong Kong's really vibrant cultural scene.
Yes.
The sources really highlight the diversity of experiences you can find there.
Oh, yeah. They made my mouth water with all the descriptions of the food.
Oh, the food is amazing.
Some Chan tangs.
Yes.
Street food at Temple Street Night Market.
You have to try it all.
It all sounds so incredible.
It's a foodie's paradise.
It really is. And it's not just about the taste either.
Not at all.
That's about the whole social experience.
Exactly.
Like the sources talk about dim sum being this thing you do with family and friends,
Oh, for sure.
and these bustling tea houses.
It's a real communal experience.
Yeah, sharing these steaming baskets of dumplings and juicy buns and savory rice noodle rolls.
Those rice noodle rolls are something else.
I've heard about those. They sound amazing.
They are.
Chung fun, is that right?
That's the one.
Okay, so I'm picturing delicate rice sheets.
Yes.
Filled with these savory fillings like shrimp or barbecue pork.
You got it.
Have you had them?
Oh, yeah. Many times are absolutely delicious.
Okay, they're officially on my list.
They should be.
Now, beyond the food, the sources also mentioned a surprising amount of outdoor adventures. I wouldn't have expected that in such a dense urban environment.
Hong Kong might be known for its skyscrapers, but it also offers some really stunning natural landscapes.
So you can actually get out into nature there.
You can, and it's incredible.
Wow.
You can go hiking on trails like Dragon's Back.
Wait, Dragon's Back.
Yeah.
That name sounds intense.
It is. It's this ridge that snakes along a mountain, and it really does resemble a dragon's spine.
Oh, wow.
And the views are just breathtaking.
What do you see?
You're hiking through this lush greenery with panoramic views of the South China Sea.
Okay, hiking with ocean views? I'm sold.
You gotta experience it firsthand.
I'm adding that to my list, too.
Good choice.
Now, is it just hiking, or are there other things to do out there?
Oh, there's plenty more you can explore. Secluded beaches, go kayaking in these tranquil bays.
Ah.
Or even take a boat trip to one of the outlying islands.
So it's like you have this amazing contrast between this bustling city life and these peaceful, natural escapes.
Exactly, and it's all within easy reach.
That's what makes Hong Kong so special.
It really is.
Okay, one more thing that caught my eye. Victoria Harbor.
Ah, Victoria Harbor.
The sources describe it as the heart of the city.
It is the heart.
Why is that?
Well, it's not just a beautiful waterway. It played a really crucial role
Okay.
in Hong Kong's development as this major trading hub.
Mm,
I mean, imagine centuries of ships passing through there,
wow.
carrying goods from all over the world.
I can picture it, the hustle and bustle, the clanging of ship bells,
Oh, yeah.
and the aromas of spices and exotic goods just filling the air.
You're painting quite the picture.
It must have been incredible.
And, even today, Victoria Harbor is still bustling.
Right.
Now it's ferries shuttling passengers, sleek yachts cruising by,
Nice.
and that iconic skyline just serving as a backdrop.
And I read about the Symphony of Lights show.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
the buildings light up in this dazzling display.
It's quite a spectacle.
Sounds magical.
The entire harbor comes alive with lights, lasers, music, creating this symphony of color and sound.
Have you ever seen it in person?
I have.
I
It's
have.
truly mesmerizing.
Wow.
The scale and artistry of the show is just breathtaking. You really feel this sense of awe
I bet.
as the lights dance across the skyline, reflecting on the water.
Okay, that's it. I'm officially adding Hong Kong to my travel bucket list.
Excellent choice. It's a city that will leave a lasting impression.
It sounds like it.
You won't regret it. All this talk about history and modernity makes me think about something else the sources highlight.
Okay.
That Hong Kong has this really unique blend of Eastern and Western cultures.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like the sources mentioned these incredible traditional Chinese temples.
Mm-hmm.
The Manmo Temple right alongside those colonial era buildings.
Yeah, with their European architecture.
It's a pretty cool mix.
It is, and it's not just about the buildings either. You see this fusion everywhere, from the food to the festivals.
Right.
Like you might find a traditional Chinese medicine shop right next to a modern art gallery.
Wow, that's a pretty stark contrast.
It is. It's this fascinating cultural tapestry.
Speaking of festivals, the sources mention a couple that sound incredible.
Oh, yeah. Which one's caught your eye?
Oh, the Dragon Boat Festival with those exciting races.
Oh, yeah. The Dragon Boat Festival is amazing.
And then the Mid-Autumn Festival with all those beautiful lantern displays.
Yeah, those are both really special.
What's so special about the Dragon Boat Festival?
Well, it offers a glimpse into Hong Kong's rich cultural heritage.
Okay.
It has roots in ancient Chinese folklore,
Uh-huh.
and it's a real spectacle to behold.
What happened?
You have these teams of paddlers racing in these elaborately decorated boats, and their movements are synchronized, propelled by the rhythmic beating of drums.
That sounds so cool.
It is. It's very vibrant and energetic.
And what about the Mid-Autumn Festival?
The Mid-Autumn Festival is a bit more, I guess you could say, serene.
Okay.
It's a time when families and friends gather to admire these illuminated lanterns, which often depict scenes from Chinese mythology and folklore.
And they share mooncakes, right?
Yes, the mooncakes are a big part of it.
What are those exactly?
They're these dense, sweet pastries, and they symbolize unity and togetherness.
It's interesting how those traditions endure,
Yeah.
even in a modern metropolis like Hong Kong.
I think it speaks to the importance of heritage and community.
Okay.
Despite the fast-paced urban environment, people still find time to connect with their roots
Right.
and celebrate these time-honored customs.
So it's like that balance we were talking about before.
Yeah,
The city's drive and efficiency, but also its deep appreciation for tradition.
exactly. And that balance is also reflected in something as simple as dim sum.
How so?
Well, it's not just about grabbing a quick bite.
Okay.
It's about taking the time to savor the flavors, connect with loved ones, and appreciate the art of Cantonese cuisine.
The sources also mention that Hong Kong is often described as a city that never sleeps.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. There's this certain energy in Hong Kong, this constant hum of activity
I can imagine.
that just permeates the streets.
It's always buzzing.
Always, whether it's the bustling markets, the late-night eateries, or the vibrant nightlife, there's always something happening.
But despite that constant motion,
Yeah,
there's still that importance of personal connections and a strong sense of community.
absolutely. You'll find that people in Hong Kong are generally friendly and helpful.
Really?
Despite that fast-paced environment, there's a sense of shared identity and pride in their city.
I'm curious, with all those skyscrapers and bustling streets,
Yeah.
is there a sense of claustrophobia there?
That's a good question, and it's something the sources actually address.
Okay.
While space is definitely limited, they've done an incredible job of maximizing every square meter.
What do you mean?
Well, you have efficient public transportation, well-planned urban spaces, and surprisingly, a lot of green areas.
Oh, so it's not just concrete jungle.
Not at all. In fact, the sources actually highlight the accessibility of nature in Hong Kong.
Really?
Imagine you can be hiking a mountain trail in the morning and enjoying a world-class meal at a Michelin-starred restaurant that same evening.
That's amazing.
It sounds like Hong Kong truly defies expectations.
It does.
And that's part of its allure. It challenges your preconceived notions and offers a truly unique and multifaceted experience.
Speaking of unique experiences, the sources mentioned a few random facts about Hong Kong that I found pretty fascinating.
Oh, I love random facts. Let's hear them.
Did you know that the Peak Tram, which takes you up to Victoria Peak, is one of the world's oldest funicular railways?
That's right. It's been in operation since 1888.
Wow.
And it's still a popular way to reach the peak and enjoy those panoramic views.
And another fact that caught my eye.
Okay.
Hong Kong has this long tradition of horse racing at the Happy Valley Racecourse.
Oh, yeah. Horse racing.
It seems like such a contrast to that modern cityscape.
It was introduced during the British colonial era, and it's become a really beloved pastime for many Hong Kongers.
I can imagine the excitement of the races, the cheers of the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And then the backdrop of all the city lights.
It's quite a spectacle.
It really is.
And it's just one example of how Hong Kong seamlessly blends its historical heritage with its modern identity.
It's amazing how much we've already talked about.
I know, right?
And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of what makes Hong Kong so fascinating.
It's true. There's always more to uncover. That's what I love about these deep dives, They really spark our curiosity and encourage us to explore further.
Absolutely. And speaking of new discoveries, I have to bring up Bruce Lee.
Ah, yes. Bruce Lee, a legend.
His sources mentioned that Hong Kong was like a major filming location for a lot of his iconic films.
His legacy is definitely intertwined with Hong Kong.
Yeah.
His films showcase not only his incredible martial arts skills,
right,
but also the energy and dynamism of the city itself.
For movie buffs like me, it's a really cool connection.
It is. It adds another layer to the whole Hong Kong experience.
It does, and it also speaks to Hong Kong's influence on pop culture in general.
Oh, for sure.
Think about all the films and TV shows that have used Hong Kong as a backdrop.
Right. It's become this instantly recognizable symbol of this place where East meets West.
Okay, so let's try to bring it all together.
Okay.
We've talked about Hong Kong's really unique political framework, that blend of Eastern and Western influences, the incredible food scene,
the
surprising outdoor adventures, and even its connection to Bruce Lee.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to process.
But I think if I had to sum it up,
okay,
I'd say Hong Kong is a city that embraces contrast.
Contrast.
Yeah, it's a place where ancient traditions coexist with modern innovations.
Right.
Bustling city life blends seamlessly with serene natural landscape. And Eastern and Western cultures intertwine to create something truly unique.
So basically a sensory overload in the best possible way.
Exactly.
And I love how the sources emphasize that even with all that density and fast-paced energy, Hong Kong still has this strong sense of community and heritage.
Absolutely. It's a city that values both progress and tradition.
Yeah.
And you see that reflected in everything from the architecture and the cuisine to the festivals and even just everyday social interactions.
So for someone planning a trip to Hong Kong, what's the one thing they absolutely cannot miss?
That's a tough one. There's so much to see and do.
I know, right.
But if I had to pick one thing, I'd say a visit to Victoria Peak is a must.
Okay.
That view from the top overlooking the harbor, the skyscrapers, the islands, and the lush green hills beyond is just breathtaking.
Okay, I'm putting that at the top of my list.
Good choice.
What else should I make sure to do?
Well, you have to experience dim sum.
Definitely.
And not just for the food, but for the whole social atmosphere. Find a bustling tea house, order a variety of dishes, and just savor the flavors while you're enjoying the company of friends or family.
And I'm adding dragons back to my itinerary for sure.
Excellent choices. You're going to have an amazing time.
I think so too.
I'm a little jealous, actually.
Well, as we wrap up our deep dive into Hong Kong, I'm left with this sense of wonder and a strong desire to experience it all firsthand.
That's the beauty of these deep dives. They spark our curiosity and encourage us to explore.
They really do. I hope our listeners feel inspired to learn more about this city.
Me too. And as they continue their exploration, maybe they can ponder this question.
What's that?
How does a city as compact and densely populated as Hong Kong manage to maintain such a vibrant cultural scene, offer such diverse experiences, and still feel so alive and welcoming?
It's a great question.
It's a testament to the ingenuity and spirit of its people, and it's something that makes Hong Kong truly exceptional.
That's a fantastic question to leave our listeners with.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Hong Kong.
It's been my pleasure.
We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.